Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface on the PTR for patch 6.2. Now, after watching today's video, some of you might want to reach for your tinfoil hats, other might want to think this is a wee bit of a conspiracy theory. So I'm going to be very intrigued, and please be very vocal with what you have to say about this video in the comment section down below after you've heard all of the information in it. You see, something happened on the latest build for the PTR that came up on Wednesday, which immediately set off some horrific alarm bells in my head. And I believe there's a little bit more to this than meets the eye. Now, why have I decided to show you this video from the perspective of my rogue? Well, to me, my rogue represents pretty much spot on the casual WoW player. And by that, I don't mean somebody that's got little WoW skill whatsoever. I don't believe that is what a casual WoW player is. To me, a casual WoW player is somebody that simply doesn't have humongous amounts of time and effort to plow into the World of Warcraft. Maybe they only get to play 5 or 6 hours a week at best. But this, I believe, is the epitome of one. So coming into the end of 6.1 and going into patch 6.2, this is, to me, the casual WoW player. I've got a few epics all over the place. I might have the odd piece of crappy odd gear here or there, but my item level is around 640 odd. That's around that. Now, if I look at my gold situation, it's not great either. And the reason why it's not great, it's just short of 4,000, is because I've spent money on things like this from the auction house. This is what I've purchased to boost my item level up. The crafted sets that you can get. I've also done plenty of LFR, as you can see from the other pieces of gear that I'm wearing. And I'm also very keen to push this character when 6.2 comes out into Hellfire Citadel LFR with which to gear it. This is from the point of view of a casual gamer. There is a slight problem for my character though. The Hellfire Citadel LFR raid requires a minimum item level of 650 to enter. So my character is a few points short, 8 in this one to be precise. So what options do I have to gear up? Well, in Tanaan Jungle, there is an almighty Apexis Crystal grind. It's gone to the next level. It's unbelievable what Blizzard have done in 6.2 as regards to that. Everything in Tanaan Jungle is Apexis grind, Apexis grind, Apexis grind, Apexis grind. There are lots of quests revolving around Apexis Crystals. There's the Apexis Crystal dailies, and there's also rare elite farming that you can do, which rewards Apexis Crystals. And they also reward potentially stuff called Baleful Gear. But that will only drop a 650 blue. If you wanted to purchase an upgrade for that Baleful piece of gear, it will cost you 20,000 Apexis Crystals. To grind 20,000 Apexis Crystals isn't easy unless you spend a lot of hours doing so. More hours than the casual gamer really wants to put into grinding per week, especially if they can only play between 5 to 10 hours. So what other options are there available to them? Well, this is why I'm here. You see, the Apexis Crystal vendors in your capital hubs are now offering the previous patches Apexis Crystal gear for gold. The 630 stuff is 1,000, the 645 stuff is 5,000, the 655 stuff is 10,000, sorry, and the 675 is 20,000. Now this is per piece. So the likelihood is, if I wanted to use gold to boost my item level so I could go into Hellfire Citadel, I would probably have to buy 2 or 3 pieces of this, and I'd probably be looking at maybe the 655 if I had a really low item, or possibly even the 675, because that will get me probably 2 or 3 points per piece. But we go back to my gold situation. 3,700. That's nowhere near enough to purchase it. I don't have the inclination to grind for hours and hours and hours, so what alternative do I have? enter the Blizzstore and enter the WoW token. This is now the casual player's way of getting gold instantly, or at least very, very quickly indeed. Do you want to go into LFR for Hellfire Citadel for the new raid coming out in 6.2? Of course people want to go into the new raid, whether they're normal, heroic or mythic raiders, or even casual players that want to do the LFR version of them. So, this is their new alternative to get gold quickly. They can go purchase a WoW token, pop it up on the auction house, a couple of days later, whatever, it sells for whatever the price is. Currently in Europe, it's around about 22,000. No, sorry. Currently in America, it's around about 22,000 or so. I think in Europe, it's around 35 to 40,000. In Taiwan, it's like a gazillion thousand. But this is now your method of doing it. And I did an AsChats a while ago about the horrible potential that the Blizzard store could suddenly start to dictate what content goes into the World of Warcraft. And 6.2's content is grindy and boring Apexis Crystal shit. That's what it is. Lots of different areas in Tanan Jungle, all Apexis Crystal grind, Apexis Crystal grind, Apexis Crystal grind. That is not fun and interesting content. It's mind-numbing, it's boring, it's dull. People look to alternatives to get their gear. This is a prime example of it. Now, I'm going to go a little step further. So what have you been doing in patch 6.1 if you're bored on your main character, you don't want to do the Apexis grind, and you're desperate for things to do? Well, one of the things that I've resorted to is literally just leveling alts. It's what I seem to do. I've gone out with the heirlooms, which they added to 6.1, and I've started to boost characters through to level 100. I've done it with my druid here. I've done it with my hunter. I'm now working on my paladin. It's really easy to do. You get plus 45% through the heirlooms. Plus, if you've got the double EXP on your character, there's an additional 50%. And then on top of that, of course, you can even purchase the potions from your garrison quartermaster, which will add another 20% on top. So leveling from 90 to 100 has never been easier. So I'm going to throw another curveball your way. What happens if you leveled an alt character and you really got attached to the class? You thought, do you know something? I really enjoyed the playstyle of that druid. I really enjoyed the playstyle of the paladin. Getting through to level 100 though, you kind of find yourself in a situation that I'm in now. Great. I've got 606 item level, and if I'm to progress, I need to get to 615 at least before I can start even going into High Maul LFR. But patch 6.2's arriving probably a lot sooner than we think now. It looks like they're just polishing it off on the PTR. So if I wanted to enjoy the 6.2 content from the get-go, again like the Hellfire Citadel raid, I need a boost in gear. I don't have gold at all. This is an alt character. I even sent 15,000 gold from one of my mains. I go here to the Apexis Crystal vendor. What have you got for me? 1,000. That would be better just by getting these 630 pieces. Never mind the 645, 655 and 675. So what's a great way to immediately get some gold so I can purchase some items and get myself geared up in no time? Welcome to the Blizzard store. Welcome to the WoW token. This to me is certainly a potential that content on the game is being derived through what is being placed on the Blizzard store. I can't think of any other reasons why I would have such little option and choice to do in 6.2, why we have horrible grindy content which is mind-numbing, and then we have suddenly the Messiah token right here which you can purchase for almost immediate decent amounts of WoW gold. Is it a tinfoil hat situation, people? Am I literally now losing my mind and seeing everything from a conspiracy theory aspect? Or is there some legits to it? Well, do you know what? We've already had Zahim reply to this accusation, which I immediately saw when I saw the PTR for 6.2 go up, the fresh build this week. And he said the reason why we've put the prices so high is actually to prevent people from potentially going out and purchasing the WoW token. So it's definitely something which was thought of by the Blues, and it's definitely something which was discussed in the background. But I don't see that at all, especially if it's selling for 20 to 25,000 gold on the US servers, and especially if it's selling for around about 35,000 gold on the EU servers. Just imagine what that would give for me. Well, 35,000, I could get 3 655s and a 645. So actually, that's really good. And that would be technically an incentive, surely, Blizzard, to purchase the WoW token from the Blizzstore to get myself some money. I don't like it. I think it stinks to high heaven. And especially with the way that the content is being produced, that's very dull, very grindy, and very boring and non-engaging. To me, with a 3 million subscription drop which we've seen recently, Blizzard is definitely looking at ways to increase their revenue stream, and this stinks to high heaven. But let me know what you guys and girls think in the comments down below. Am I completely off ball here, or is there something a little bit more sinister going on than we think? But I hope you enjoyed the vid regardless, and if you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.